Good morning, everyone. It's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of the daytime television shows that we're doing is Young and the Restless. Oh my God, when I started this video, I went to take my glasses off. I'm not wearing my glasses. It's early. I'm doing this video before I go into work today, so I'm very excited to try to catch up. I just have one more video to catch up on. I'm going to do the General Hospital next, and then the Housewives of Auckland, and then I'll be all caught up. Okay, so for Young and the Restless, here's the deal with Young and the Restless. Last week was a week where some stuff happened, but not enough in any one storyline to say this storyline took front and center. This was the one that drove most of the story. So when the week started, we saw some fallout from last week's, excuse me. We saw some fallout from last week's benefit and the one where Victor punched out Nick right after Nick verbally eviscerated him. And unbeknownst to Nick and Victor, Hillary was there and shot everything and then put it all on her show. This is what I don't understand about that show. It's called The Hillary Hour, but it still says GC Buzz everywhere. So is it GC Buzz TV or is it Hillary Hour? Right? Because that would have been my first, if I was rebranding a show, I would have taken all the old branding off and put the new one in. That's another, yeah, don't get me started. Okay, I'm sorry. That just opened up a can of worms. I apologize. We're going to move on. Okay. So Hillary aired the footage, and of course Nick, and what was funny was that Victor is the one that told Hillary, because Hillary was right away, she was like, oh no, I'm not doing this mess again. We're gonna talk with Victor before we air this. So they talked with Victor, and Victor said, go ahead, air it. So she aired it, and then he texted her a thumbs up. And Nick was furious. He comes down to the station. He's like, I'm going to sue you. It's ridiculous. And she's like, that's funny because your father just told me that I could air the footage as is. So Nick was devastated. So then, Nick stormed off. But what was funny was that he was very much his father's son when that happened. I could totally see the Victor in him when he went out. I'm a little belchy this morning. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay. So that kind of started the week off. That was a little bit of drama at the beginning of the week. In terms of the whole Mariah and Tessa lesbian gate, we haven't seen anything on Tessa's part this past week, but we did see a few glances from Mariah and a few flashbacks to that night. So that's totally gonna. I personally like the way that this is building out slowly. Actually, I enjoyed that this storyline is not rushed. So I think it's great. That's a good idea. In terms of Kane and his ridiculous. First of all, I'm not a big fan of Charlie and Maddie. I don't mind Reed. I'm not a big fan of Charlie and Maddie. And if I had to pick one of them, I would pick Maddie to stay over Charlie. Charlie is, I just don't see, he's just a very, how do I put this? He is a teenage stereotype. Right, and Maddie is too, but at least Maddie, she's got that romance with Reed, and there's the potential for some star-crossed lovers there, and and Young and the Restless. Nobody does star-crossed lovers better than Young and the Restless does, so they're at least in good hands for that. But I mean, I don't see any point in Charlie, so personally, I don't see what the point in aging them was, but whatever, we'll see. But Reed is not bad. Reed does not bother me at all, which is funny because normally when Reed showed up all aged, and then I was like, okay. But he's not that bad. So He's a good little actor, and he's a good little singer, and he's got his own storyline, and that's that's fine. That's good. And he's helping Maddie with her storyline, which is great. So kudos to you, Reed. All right. So yeah, so Kane's life is a full-on mess. So basically, Kane went to Jabot to try to get a job with Jabot, right? And of course, at first Jack was like, I'm all about it. If we can bury the brash and sassy, we should do it, blah, blah, blah. And when that happened, Victoria found out about it, and she went to Jack. She was like, really? Because I don't think, who I don't think would be too pleased about this? My mother. And Jack is sweet on Nikki. He's always been sweet on Nikki. But you know what kind of made me think about that when that happened? I was more concerned about Gloria. I know, that's random. Really? But it's true. Because it just seems like Jack is a love him and leave him kind of guy now with Gloria, where he's loved her and left her. And now he's trying to get back with his ex, Nikki. I don't know. It just seems kind of strange. So anyways, so Jack was really taken aback, and he really didn't want to upset Nikki. So he decided to not hire Kane. So he tells Kane, I'm not going to hire you. And who shows up at Kane's door? Jesse, the cameraman from Hillary Hour, but when they were in Los Angeles. No, he's not from the Hillary Hour, actually. He was hired by Brash and Sassy. So anyways, he shows up and he's like, I need more money. Kane's like, I don't have any more money to give you. Here's another thing, too, that really kind of irritates me. Kane's been out of a job for what? A week? 2 weeks at the most? And they are acting like they have no money at all. Now listen, if I was in, back when I was working in the adult film industry, or when I was a call center representative, if I lost my job, 2 weeks, I'd start to feel it. 2 weeks. But nowhere near, they are just wringing their hands. They're so concerned about money, and Lily's like, oh, I wish we were better with our savings. Okay, that's good that we get to see that they're not that good with money, but at the same time, it's like, we should have known this ahead of time. Like, they should have started to sow those seeds before they just went into Kane losing his job, and now they don't have any money. And second of all, her brother's a fucking billionaire. I don't know why that they're so concerned about money when Devon is a fucking billionaire. Bill with a B. Billionaire. So that doesn't make any sense. Like, this whole thing just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And second of all, what does Kane care if he came out with the story? Because he doesn't have that job at Brash and Sassy anyways. Sorry, that's what I think of that whole Kane drama. Awful. Okay. So let's go back to Jack. So in terms of the Abbott siblings, Dina Mergeron had a spa day with Ashley and Abby, and was talking to them about, basically was talking to them about Ravi. And she was like, yeah, younger guys are the best. They're really super hot. And Abby and Ravi, and Abby and Ashley were looking at each other because everyone had those cucumbers on their eyes, but Abby and Ashley took their cucumbers off, and they're looking at each other like, get a load of this. But she's really done a good job of reaching out to Ashley after, and Graham went on a date with Gloria while they were at the spa. So I'm glad that Gloria has found something to do. She's good for her. It'll be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch the show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can also hashtag YR to talk Young and the Restless, or you can hashtag GH to talk General Hospital. And you can also hit that little subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my videos sent to your inbox every single day. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day today. Peace out and wubba wubba wubba.